Hello, good afternoon. You're watching PMeVIDYA channel. I am with you, Dharmender Singh, and I would like to welcome here in National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, which is called NEPA. As you all know, in this program, we always talk about leadership of schools, and on top of that, which comes under National Center for School Leadership. And let me introduce of today's topic of discussion. What we are going to talk about today: leadership for learning in government secondary school in Andhra Pradesh. There you are. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching PMeVIDYA channel. And this broadcast, we are already been streaming on channel number 6, 9 and 12 of PMeVIDYA channel, and of course we are live streaming this on NCERT official YouTube channel. Related to this, if you have any query, any questions, you can see the television on your television screen. There would be a telephone number 8800440559. You can call this number asking your questions if you have any query meanwhile in between, and of course you may send your suggestions, your questions through email ID as well. So email ID you can also see on your television screen, that will be flashed in between the session. Now I've got two guests to talk about all of today's topic of discussion. First of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Charu Malik. She is joining us from National Center for School Leadership studio itself. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you.
On the other hand, we got another panelist with me, which is Ms. Vaidi Bhavani, headmistress, joining us from Government High School, Krishna District, Andhra Pradesh. I welcome you, Bhavani ji.
Good afternoon.
Right, so let's start, ma'am. And when we talk about school leadership, there has always been question asked. Today, as we are talking about Andhra Pradesh, so we all would like to know the main key elements of a school leadership program, especially in Andhra Pradesh. How we are going to start with.
Thank you so much. And the National Center for School Leadership, as we all know, our audience is well aware of the work that the center is doing. We have our extended arms in most of the states and UTs in the form of School Leadership Academy. And
Right.
School Leadership Academy in Andhra Pradesh is in the institution of CMAT, which is being led by CMAT. And we are doing a plethora of programs under the School Leadership Academy, identifying specific contexts
Right.
in Andhra. What are the challenges that the school leaders are facing in Andhra Pradesh in various geographical diversity or linguistic diversity, or the challenges and demands that are now emerging to be able to provide good quality education to all children. So creating materials, creating some good video content on leadership best practices. Recently, the Leadership Academy of Andhra Pradesh has conducted a very successful webinar on school leadership development in the context of National Education Policy 2020. So we are trying to create a specific context-specific content, which is both text-specific as well as video-specific in the field of school leadership. So considering the work that is being done, very good work that is being done by CMAT Andhra, we have invited today Madam Vaidi Bhavani,
Right.
who's leading a school in Andhra. And let us listen from her what are the challenges she faces and how has she transformed her school in a
Right.
very short span of 1.5 years.
Right, right. Thank you so much, Dr. Malik, by sharing your thoughts on school leadership, especially when we talk about Andhra Pradesh. Well, Dr. Bhavani, can you hear me?
Hi.
Right, I welcome you. Right, I welcome you once again, and we are very curious to know about the challenges, because whatever you do, once it's got success, there might be so many challenges, whatever you have faced. So we want to know what challenges you have faced, of course, in the school, and when you joined as a head, because headship is not, the easy thing. And what were your initial interventions for school transformation? If you could tell us about all these things.
Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share my views with respect to leadership for learning in Andhra in government secondary schools in Andhra Pradesh. So it is just 1.5 years since I joined as a school leader. When I first stepped into school, the school buildings are very good externally, but when I stepped into the classrooms, I found hardly I could find a classroom without any repair. So almost all the classrooms are subjected to repair, and no one was taking care of those things. And then in AP there was MANODARPAN pioneering initiative was going on. So that time I checked with MANODARPAN scheme whether our school has been there in that or not. So that time the school was with the contractor. So then I just made the parents committee realize that instead of contracting, instead of contractor, if the parents committee take the contractorship or community contracting, the school will be transformed in a great way. So the parents committee met the contractor and requested the contractor to withdraw from the contract, and the parents committee explained the advantages that can be derived from the community contracting, and that contractor generously withdrew from the contract. So that was a project of 1 crore rupees, and then that contractor withdrew from the contract, and then parents committee took the contract. So parents went with the parents committee with the accountability, quality, credibility, and transparency being the criteria. So we have taken up the project, and so you can find that great transformation in the slides that I have shared. In the beginning, there were many no's. No electricity, no painting, no fans, there are many no's. So all that no's are now nowhere find now. So we have a good transformation of the schools. So really, we thank the GOH for giving the schools an opportunity to transform in a big way. So that now the schools have transformed structurally and pedagogically sound in order to make the children, in order to make the government school children especially to compete at the global platform. That was the vision of GOAP, and the schools have been transformed.
Right.
So that way, that's a transformation. And then as far as learning was concerned, that time it was 4 months the school was closed and no learning happened to the kids. So then we just created WhatsApp groups and we made teachers to interact the parents, and then we just started online classes, and then children were able to attend some Zoom classes and some learning took place. And besides that, we used to give dry ration. So during that dry ration, we also distributed library books for the kids to go through. So in that way, in earlier things were happening.
Yes, so Bhavani ji is recounting her experience of last 1.5 years, and she's recounting the experience under the Nadu Nedu program that has been launched by the government of Andhra Pradesh on restructuring the infrastructure of the schools in a very large way. And I think her school came under the phase 1 experiment where her infrastructure was upgraded. So in the leadership context, yes, of course, infrastructure can be a very important aid in the learning process of students, right from the entire building reconstruction or the painting of walls with learning snippets, and the making of the ICT lab, how to integrate ICT with the teaching learning process. So all these resources were arranged under this Nadu Nedu program, but it was her leadership that actually she's saying, it was her leadership that bridged this gap between infrastructure and the learning process. So infrastructure has actually influenced the pedagogical leadership in the entire school, which we are going to talk about in greater detail now.
Right, absolutely. That's why leadership is leadership all about, because there are certain gaps, but how to fill this if you do not have resources to do this, and of course there is a helplessness of the time foundation as well, that you need to give a very good results. All right, Bhavani ji, once again I have one more question for you, which is going to be very, very impressive. After getting the headship, you already talked about earlier about the challenges, and we hats off to you that you covered you faced a lot of challenges, and you also gave all the answers of the questions which came out for you, whatever you faced. Now, when we talk about the phase and of course the school transformation thing, so there should be a question again came out, that is specific strategies. Now, did you employ for improving learning process in the school? So if you can put some light on it.
Yes, and also just highlight the vision that you had for learning improvement. What was your vision and how did you improve the learning processes?
So it's not the individual vision, it's the collective vision of the school. The vision of the school is every child matters, and learning is a serious goal. So, so making learning as a serious goal, and every child is directed to self-learning and also lifelong learning to compete at the global scenario. That is the vision of the school. So to achieve the vision, again we have many challenges. So there is absenteeism, there is prevalence of emotional and behavioral problems among the kids, And because they are being stayed with the parents. Parents are all laborers and daily wage workers. So most kids, 95% of the kids hail from the vulnerable communities and they are not cared by anybody else. And children have no focus on academic learning. And then with the pretext of online classes, children were given mobile phones, but the use of screen time was not being monitored by the parents. So that was also being misused by many of the kids. Those were the challenges. So to address those challenges, again, we did something. So something like that. We have in Andhra Pradesh, we have village secretariat with some volunteers for every village. So for every 550 households, there is a volunteer. So what we have done is, we map all the kids to the volunteers, village volunteers. So again, that village secretariat volunteers are mapped to the class teachers. So if the child is absent from the school or if the child is behaving abnormally, the teacher speaks to the volunteers and the volunteers in turn go to the parents and they speak to the parents and also kids in such a way we have taken that step. Besides, we also take the help of Mahila police. So Mahila police also, because we identified some kids who behave abnormally, they won't listen to the parents, they won't come regular to the school and they are addicted to some other things. So that identified kids was given to adopted by the Mahila police. We have 3 Mahila police. So these 3 Mahila police are regularly monitoring the kids and also speaking to the parents. And so we brought some change, attitudinal change among the kids. Besides, we do have some counselors in our school. Some 4 teachers were selected who voluntarily came to counsel these kids. And with the help of this regular counseling by these teachers also, we made the kids transform in their attitude. And then we also conducting like live career guidance programs with the nearby college students and also faculty. We have nearby engineering colleges and then nursing colleges, law college. So we invited invited students from those colleges along with the faculty, so that students themselves gave some live sessions and then they motivate the kids, so that there will be some change in their attitude among the kids about the career and career prospects and all. In that way, we plan these things. And also exclusively some motivational videos and personality development videos have been picked up, and some motivational personal development books are also picked up. And these books and videos are made are read by the kids, and these kids are identified kids, and also motivational videos are also watched by these kids. In such a way, we are just bringing them to the track. So those are the interventions that we have taken up to bring the kids on track.
Right, and we can also see some photographs of teachers on the green board. So how have you motivated and coached your teacher community in the school to influence positively the learning outcomes of students, especially in class 9 to 12? So what have your interventions been specifically with the teachers? How do you influence them? How do you motivate them?
Yeah, I show, because we have clinic of the schools. So we try to the private schools, and I just send some teachers to the nearby private schools how they are doing with the online sessions. And also we have some Zoom meetings with the private schools, and also some schools who are taking some exclusively some government schools also you started this Zoom sessions and all. So our teachers were trained in how to take up the Zoom meetings and how the Zoom meetings help the kids to be on track. So in such a way, I just motivated the teachers. And also we have Vidyamritam and Vidya Karistam as the Mana TV program for the kids who are staying at home. So for that also, I encouraged my teachers to take part in the program, and along with other teachers across the state, because many teachers took part in Vidyamritam and Vidya Karistam to give online topics for the kids. online interaction, you know. So in that way also, by making them, by making our teachers watch the videos, watch the sessions and interacting with the people, so our teachers started working with the film sessions and all.
Right. And you had also discussed about each classroom having a library. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, and we have a common library. We have a common library with some 8,000 books.
Right.
But that library, the library is maintained by a library assistant. So library assistant, she takes the class, whenever she has a class, she takes all the kids to the library and she makes them read. So the child picks up books as in they like and then they read the books. But as far as classroom library is concerned, our teachers wanted to focus more on the kids who are interested to read. For class 6, 7, 8 and 9 kids, classroom library has been set up. So one teacher takes care of the classroom library. So we have 4 sections in each class. So a total of 50 or 50 to 60 kids were picked up from each class, and that 60 kids will be assigned to one teacher who is interested to go in the classroom library. Then this teacher issue the books to the kids level wise, and then for one level, first level, second level, and third level. First level kids will be given some shorter textbooks, and then some second level books can peer reading. So together they sit and read, and then third level, the child can take the book to the home and then they read. So here the classroom library, every Monday this class will be reviewed. So on Monday, books are issued to these 50 to 60 kids, and these 50 to 60 kids, they work for 1 week on the book that was given to them, and then they come out with a review. They might come with their own expression, or they may write some poems, or they may rewrite the story, or they may change the characters, something like that. And every Monday the 6th class will come and give the kids. Similarly for 7th class, 8th class, and 9th class. So through the classroom library, we can know what sort of books the child is interested to take, and how many books the child has read. So our intention is in a year, not in a year. So in these 4 months, at least every child should be able to read 30 books. 30
Right.
books. That is our intention. So once these kids start reading and they're explaining that thing in the classroom or to a group of kids, other kids are also getting motivated and they are coming forth to read books. So
Right.
this is the classroom.
That's a very good intervention. Yes.
Absolutely, Ms. Bhavani. Of course, when we talk about the leadership, there has always been a point to say about that great leader don't set to be a leader. Why? They set out to make a difference. It's never, it's never about the role, but always about the goal. What Bhavani ji exactly has done in Andhra Pradesh. Well, another question I would like to put in front of you, as we have 5 to 6 minutes left to sum up this session. How did you use the learning from the assessment cell of SCERT in improved schooling process, ma'am?
Right.
Okay. Assessment makes learning visible, and there should be a match between the intended curriculum, implemented curriculum, and achieved curriculum. If there is a mismatch, we cannot attain the expected learning outcomes. So what all classroom strategies or plans that is based on the assessment. So we have shifted to constructive pedagogy, and if the classroom transaction is not according to the constructive pedagogy, it is of no use. If the assessment doesn't test the constructivistic attitude of the kids, it is of no use. So there should be an alignment between assessments and then learning objectives and classroom transaction. So to implement this thing, our teachers are made to implement 5E pedagogy. That is 5E means engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and then evaluate. This is the technique that is being adopted by the teachers to make constructive pedagogy fruitful, and also to make this the achieved outcome in a good way. And then another thing is, so So now there is a shift from rote learning to conceptual learning. So the teachers, I just gave some examples and models how a good test item triggers the art and science of learning and also art and science of teaching. So I also made the teachers understand the difference between understanding and knowing. Knowing means a child can know something by recollecting or by understanding the definitions and all, by knowing the definitions and all. But understanding is different. So where the child should go deeper, then only the child understands the concept. So in such a way, how a good test helps the child to understand, child to become creative and child to become analytical. Similarly, how a good question helps the teacher to alter the pedagogy. So, if there is no proper questioning, there is no change in the pedagogy. So, good question works all these things. Besides, we also made, how the test items will be in the international assessments. I like the teams and pearls. So, and also what difference between large-scale assessments and the classroom assessments. So once that our teachers come to know all these things, just they are trying to set the strategies, especially language teachers, to work with the language and math teachers also, working with the conceptual understanding of the kids.
Right. So, Bhavani ji, I think I'll pause you here. I'll just sum up this beautiful process that she has explained. The fact that she, as a pedagogical leader, has understood the philosophy of assessment, that assessment is not really for testing and standardization, but assessment is for learning. And learning of who? Learning of not just the students, but also of the teachers.
Right.
So when you are creating assessments, they are a tool to understand what the students have learned. Actually. And have they understood deeply or not. It is not just information gathering. So have they been able to understand the concept? Have they been able to apply the concept under the framework of competency-based education? So she understands the philosophy that is behind assessment. And assessment also helps the teachers to bring modifications in their pedagogy, in their transactional methodologies in the classroom, so that teachers can also improve their practice. So as a pedagogical leader, as a leader for learning, enabling learning processes in the school, she has made a lot of achievements in terms of making assessment stress-free and actually improving the learning outcomes of students.
Absolutely.
Right.
We have got only 2 minutes left now, but Ms. Pamani, we won't let you go while asking this question, which is going to be very incredible. What, according to you, are key leadership attributes, right, that are required for leading for a secondary school?
Actually, school leader is not a leader at all. He's led by many people. So he's led by teachers, led by people, led by children, led by community and all. So the school leader should have a perceiving eye, an understanding heart, and adjusting mental for us with many hands. So the school leader should be a transformational leader. So the school leader has to alter whenever there is a need. He has to alter, inspire other people to walk beyond their capacity, and so in that way, the transformation has to be brought up. And similarly, the school leader is also an instructional leader. So the instructional leader means that he should not worry about the improvement of the teachers. So the instruction leader has to work, create opportunities so that the teachers themselves modify and themselves become good at instruction.
Well, Ms. Vani, I'm interrupting you. I'm so sorry about this because we are running short of time. I want you to give a positive message to the other state schools as well. So actually, as we already been set up the example to the entire states, for our country, I would say. So if they can follow you, right, because this is the successful model. If they will follow you, they can also have the possibility to groom themselves. So what positive message you would like to give to them quickly?
What is your message for the other school leaders?
So we have to take many hats to lead the school in a successful way. We have to understand the difference between effective school and successful school. So we have to work with the commitment. So we have to look at the chain. So once we look at the chain, we evolve our own strategies. to build up a positive environment. So whatever we know, like quality learning is a call, 21st century is a big call, and SDG 4 is a big call. So we should not limit ourselves to these things as on paper. So we have to put them effectively, how effectively we can work, that effectively we have to work for the good cause of kids.
Absolutely. So on this positive note, we will have to wind up the session here. But thank you so much, Ms. Bhavani, for your valuable time. And we appreciate your hard work. We definitely appreciate your all the efforts which you have made to make these things successful. And of course, thank you so much, Dr. Malik. You came to the studio and you delivered such a nice session to our audience in this field. So I hope you love this session. For more educational sessions, you have to watch the PMeVIDYA channels. For the timing here, we have to sign off.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So thank you so much once again, all the viewers, and keep watching PMeVIDYA channels and allow us to go now.